Yeah, how the wars, then the scourge of AIDS. That's why you see there are very many grandmother-led households or sibling-led households, especially some areas that were ravaged by AIDS, like Rakhine and those other places. Then the war, then these other things, and then the generation now moved now to our generation.
So it became normal.
So now it was normalized. Now I'm going to even get the part where it was glamorized, not just normalized. It even got glamorized. Yeah?
It's single motherhood got glamorized.
Yes. I'm going to tell you how. And it's very ridiculous. Now, when we started seeing our parents, I'm here personally for a few years of my life, the first phases of my life. My mother was a single mother till she got married with me. She moved into a marriage with me. When she passed away, then I remained with a single man, my stepdad. But then I didn't have the attachment to him.
Yeah. For
the biggest part of my life. Until then, I also stopped living with him. When I entered university, I was on my own. So, there was a part, I lived. So I had to find, there were other people who mentored me. For example, a case, your father, Solution's father here, at some point had to mentor me a bit. He wasn't there because I think, proximity and all those other things, but for a while, he mentored me and that sort of thing. But also I have very many, even on my maternal side, most of those ladies were mainly, single women. If I look through almost all of them, and I'm,
it's interesting.
Single parents. So I started to understand why there was this whole thing, and people, and even when I was going to marry, I was told, try and break the generation of people not marrying. But the generational curse of people not marrying. But then for me, I'm a spiritual person, because there are things I see and say, but no, now this must happen for a reason. But then there are things that I look at with common sense. Because I think God has given me a bit of wisdom to discern and say, this really should be common sense. Without disturbing God and saying, but God help me interpret this one for me. No. There are things wisdom God has given you, and you know that this is common sense. I mean, if you say, try and break the curse of, not marrying, but you need to understand, if you're coming from a generation of people who are not married, single parents, chances are very high statistically that you also not understand marriage. You're also not married. You not see its value. So, and then that means you're going to carry on a generation of single parents.
It might not be a curse, just might be a thinking.
Exactly, because it's how you've been raised. You've been raised with a woman who is telling you, your mother is telling you are a man.
Men are dogs.
Yes, your father now, if they are telling you your father now you're moving on. Now you're taking this mentality, to the next generation. You also now go and get, as for instance, if you're a man who comes from a family of a single mother, for example, if you're raised by a single mother, there are things you do not understand properly. As you move on, at some point you're also saying, I can have it. I want children. I don't have to be married. I can get children. I don't have to be married. At some point I also thought like that. Like, maybe it's not that serious. I don't have to be married, because I don't. Someone has to teach you how to respect those sorts of things. Until but then I also saw married people, like your Solution's parents here. I said, but these people have been married for a very long time, for as long as I can remember. How have they managed to stay together? That means this thing can work. And then I was determined also, I was very intentional on saying, I'm going to see how to break this thing that they call a curse, and show them that sometimes this thing is not a curse as people want to say. Sure, but it's just, maybe it's common sense. Maybe it's a thing that, someone has, put in your head that, for us here, we don't marry.
It's a mentality.
It's a mentality. Now, how do you end up in this, you call it this Nigeria phenomenon? This is partly how it happens. You don't know that in this Kampala here, if I look at it from a bar perspective, it's very, very easy to be a single mother. And as a guy, it is very, very easy to hook up you know.
And sow your seed somewhere where you don't even care.
Yes. So I'll give you a simple scenario. If how people create, how single mothers come about. You're in the bar, you're hanging. You have seen, you have had me tell you certain scenarios of where we are in a bar and the boss is saying, boss, you have to bring us chicks, man, because now the ratio, you have to see how we get the ratio of chicks to men, higher. So chicks have to be more so that guys can come, and then guys buy drinks. These people you're buying drinks for, the end goal is which one exactly? Are they your siblings? What is the end goal? You understand? You understand? What is the end goal of Mtuletero Bwana? It's
for the boss, for your boss, he wants to sell more drinks and make more money. But for the guy who is buying the drinks, he's not UN.
It's not a charity.
It's not a charity.
You understand? And where do we end up? Is you end up in a situation where you are starting to say things like a girl is now telling you, boss, the period went missing, or it went where I don't know.
Then find it.
Then you suddenly start saying, you start releasing small information like, I forgot, I'm in a Kaloki marriage of 10 years. I forgot to tell you what it is.
That line gets me. In our clan we don't produce.
Or is when you remember that she her tribe and your tribe may not be compatible. Is when you understand.
You give all the excuses in the world.
You give all the excuses. Now that is now. You get to the part of responsibility. Now the man is saying, maybe I'm going to take care of the child or not. Or if it's a guy who doesn't mind, tells you, by the way, I've also seen situations where a guy says, by the way, I only have girls. If that is a boy, don't worry. I'll handle it. I'll take care of it. Where do you want to live?
People have secret families in Nigeria, my brother.
You
know what that means? You see a man in his V8, respectable family, what? He's paying rent. Some random person in Nigeria.
We are not using Nigeria, but Nigeria is an example of all these. It's a template of all these places, everywhere.
Yeah.
I meet them all the time here. The other time, a girl, one of my best friends ended up posting. Okay, they're not friends, but she has the contact. So pictures accidentally ended up on the status. On the status. So she deleted them. So she tells me, oh my God, I think this chick posted nudes, but she has deleted them. Why would she do that? Let me call. She calls her like, what have you done? And she's like, but you've heard of the concept called okwetega. She's like, but my son posted them by mistake. Meanwhile, these pictures were going to someone else. We were not even going to the baby daddy because the baby daddy is married. So they were going to someone else. Yeah? Someone else was supposed to send rent.
Oh, so the nudes were
a bait.
Like, you got to put money here.
Hey, this is where your money is going.
Yeah.
Which you call okwetega.
Okay.
Baiting.
Baiting. Okay. This is where your money is going, but she wanted rent because she's married. She has the kid belongs to a prominent lawyer in this town. You understand? She lives in these areas still. Now, if this, I'm now explaining, and she's okay because she knows this guy. This guy is married.
She respects the
She
marriage.
has known him. Yes, but that's not her concern.
Her concern is my economics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But where do you think this comes from? It must have been some sort of values.
Yeah.
That were instilled somewhere that, you know what, it is okay. Guy Muzaride, as long as he can take care of his child.
Are we honestly going to sit here and pretend that the president of Uganda was not at his daughter's introduction last week, and we all just discovered last week that the president has a daughter called Angela. Are we just going to let that go?
It's not a daughter, it's a whole family.
Our family.
There's a whole family, a whole other family.
So we let it go.
So, you guys.
do you understand?
No, that's news. That's news to me. As in, what's wrong with the president going to his daughter's introduction?
No one knew that this daughter existed.
Not no one knew. People knew, by the way. Strangely, people knew, because I had people saying, "No, we were with this guy in KPS."
So you tell me. Tell me.
Your wife has been a single mother. That's why we didn't know.
Okay, fine. That's his drama. Tell me. You said that this thing of single parenthood is being glamorized. Where is the glamour coming from?
Did you? If you go into your YouTube, go and type top 10 single mothers in Uganda. There's a whole YouTube channel that is going to bring Desire Luzinda, Zari, Zara Toto. There's like a whole list of celebs.
Yeah.
That is going to come. Of all these celebs are single mothers. And you do realize, and these are not just celebrities, socialites, whichever. And these, you do realize that our generation now, not our generation, but the ones that are slightly lower than we are, are now looking at these people as their models, as their role models. Because kids don't have real role models. No one wants to know Manya Nelson Mandela, the real role models these kids are looking at are
the guys who are shaking stuff on Instagram and
exactly, the Bafere, the people who are bringing new cars every single time, the people who are
picking up girls all over the place.
You understand? These are the people that are inspiring, and those are some of the people that are inspiring the girls now. Guys are saying, if I can just have, and if you look at all those celebrities, all these socialites, the female socialites, you see the single mothers. You'll notice some of them, the fathers of these kids, were all rich guys or high profile guys. Therefore, making it okay for all these girls to say, if that one has managed to have a child with the other rich guy, and she's raising her children on her own, it means I can also make it. So I don't need the structure of a father and son.
So I hear what you're saying. So it becomes like normal.
Because the single mothers have now become role models.
It becomes normal and so on. But going back to the president, don't you think it's a positive thing, whatever he did? As in, man up, show up and say, yeah, this is my seeds.
But he did not.
If you see the wedding band, if you see the wedding band, it is the family of the boy, father and mother named. When it comes to the family of the girl, it is only the president.
The president
named. Are you seeing is this chauvinism?
but
it is very deliberate because
it's public.
It is public.
And of course, even for lack of a better word, I would say, let me defend the president. I would say it's a matter of national security, because you don't put someone else's name there, the other person's name there, because of the position that he's holding in the country. You get? So
in the position that your life. So if we are saying that's the position he holds in the country, I also, as a married man, I am holding a particular position somewhere in my house.
You're not commanding any armed forces anywhere. And
I'm commanding some things in my house.
Someone has a following.
No, you're commanding the whole country. He's commanding the whole country and so on.
So it's a role model now.
But that's what I'm telling you now. That man is a whole role model now.
Yeah.
He's a role model actually. And now people are showing you that, listen, it is okay. Because he didn't show up. He was not there, for the record. But you saw the kids were talking about him. He owned the kids, and the kids owned him. And even the wife owned him, and the wife at some point even made him. I think they were jumped.
Is this a wife? Is this a single mother? Is she a side dish?
And that's what I wanted also to bring out at some point, that this single motherhood thing has also a grey area. It has a huge grey area, because now the proper ideal definition of a single man is the man is not there. He's not